It's recording, don't move.
You sure I was in a good spot?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Live from the M&S Night League fields.
We're here actually at the site of week 6, the opening night of week 6.
Unbelievable.
But let's talk about week 5 first,
Yeah,
and then we'll get into week 6.
A lot of games we had, and a lot of interesting games.
Right, a lot
First
of
of all, before we
controversial
start,
calls defense by the umpires also.
okay, well, let's get into it right away. This Blackhawks team was going up against a very strong Gonzaga team that was hungry off playing not so well, losing 2. And guess what? They came out hungry.
It was domination. It came early and often, and it was 7-3 game 1.
Game 1 again. It looked as though Gonzaga was good and the Blackhawks looked flat.
Right, and game 2 was 12-2.
Game 2 was actually close in the 5th from what I heard.
But it was 12-2 final.
So. Right, 12-2 final. It was really ugly. Right. Ugly night. Gonzaga felt great. Ralph Hannon was mowing everybody down.
Ralph Hannon was dealing that night. He was back to his Cy Young form.
Maxi D looked frustrated. I saw the beginning of game 1.
Both games were actually kind of close at times, but defensively they broke down.
Blackhawks broke down.
Mentally they broke down.
Right, I think Max then just pulled himself and it was ugly.
Right, and then listen,
he got hit after.
But lucky for them, they have a lot of season to go to get it right. And tonight, as we see, we'll talk about it a little later.
We'll get there. Then let's go to the next game, which was a lot of fun.
Right, this was Cubs Patriots.
Now this was a big matchup because they just had a big trade.
Right,
the Patriots and Cubs had a crazy 3-on-3 trade. JT, the big marquee player, went to the Cubs.
Right, essentially it was the star JT and 2 complimentary players,
and a lot of value came back into Norwood's team, which really paid dividend.
River, Zolta, and Jake.
Now, it made their field look very complete. But on the flip side, good for Michael Solomon's team, Saban and the Cubs.
Right, they got themselves the star they were looking for.
And they needed it as well. Allie came with an extra pep in his step. JT looked very happy to be part of this team. And it was a split.
Right. And it was one of those splits where they might meet again in the playoffs.
And
had a feel where both teams respected the other team.
Tuna looks great. Mark Cohen was the big story.
Right, so coming into that night, Mark Cohen did not have a job as a starting pitcher.
Hasn't seen the mound.
Because David Fallis was a rookie sensation phenom, came in mowing down batters. Then there was mound gate where he actually moved the mound back.
I think Isaac might have got a little bit
I think he sold his stock.
Yeah.
But the good thing for Norwood is he actually recognized there was value by putting him in left field.
He's an athletic kid.
He's a player that no matter where he goes, he's going to be valuable, and he has got a lot of young rookie learning to do. And guess what? I guess he hit the ball well hard again that night.
He hit the ball well. Mark Cohen was the real story. They lost 5-3 the first game.
I want to tip my cap to Mark Cohen. He had so much adversity. They were questioning him behind him on his own team, and he still pitched 2 hell of games.
They thought he was going to quit the league. He said, "I'm not quitting. I'm playing."
All the power to Mark.
And you know what? He was their knight in shining armor.
Getting into more specifics, game 1 was a 5-3 final.
They were down 5-0. The defense of the Patriots hurt them, and I would even say, I'm going to call it out, the defense of Mark Cohen hurt them.
Right, but
Mark Cohen had out of innings, and he overthrew the first baseman, and that really, in essence, was the beginning of the end of that game.
Right, and that was, it's funny that he pitched a great game, but lost 5-3. And then game 2 was one of those nail biters where Mark Cohen, I think he earned himself a starting pitching role.
Oh my goodness!
For the rest of the season,
he was pitching hard and often to everybody, hard to hit, and the defense behind them played well. And Isaac Norwood-Dweck, I think, is on the Mark Cohen bandwagon.
Right,
now.
you know what? And guess what? Again, tip your cap to Mark because he is going up an uphill battle. It was very tough to earn that spot back. He got that spot back. And, Albert Zolta played a big role in that game.
Played great in right field.
And so he was part of the trade.
I don't think River really had much in the outfield. And Jake Sasson, welcome to the team, hit a big bomb to left center.
I think the trade...
Guy in the back end of the lineup to do that damage.
The trade worked out so far well for both teams.
Sides.
So
this is one of those trades, nobody wins. It's just a win-win situation.
Let's see how it shakes out for the rest of the season. We're actually past the midway point of the season, so we're down the stretch we come.
And they're a 500 team.
Right. And then on Wednesday evening, we had the LSU Tigers taking on the Giants. This is the Gamals also coming off a trade, facing their old team.
The Melech LSU Bills Tigers.
An instant rival, as we say, because Gamal has a chip on his shoulder, and Melech wasn't too happy of the attitude that he had with Gamal, so he was looking to beat them.
Well, Melech's kryptonite was on the field.
Freddie Hittery.
Freddie Hittery was on the field, and guess what? He showed again. Game 1 was probably the best game of the season.
The way Freddie Hittery pitches to the hitters on the LSU Tigers over the last 3 years
Just has their
shows
number.
you he gets them lunging. The type of hitters, I guess it's just a weird matchup. They don't have his number, but
He throws strikes. He throws them often. He has a good rhythm.
like you said,
he
game one
locates.
Game one was one of the best games of the year. Final score was 4-3.
And it went to extra innings. It was 2 up in the 9th inning.
Crazy.
And guess who got the game-winning hit? Freddie Hittery.
Right, so he
hit
had
the game-winning hit.
he's got a lot
Rope
to prove.
up the middle.
People forget that Freddie Hittery was traded by Michael Solomon
That's
to
right.
the championship later in the season last year of what was the name of their team?
No, it's Angels.
The Angels. And now this year again, people think that there's a built-in rivalry there as well. A lot of bad blood going in between the
Yeah,
Cabals
it's
and
funny.
Hittery.
And Freddie Hittery was the last pitcher taken, World Series winning pitcher, and he's still doing the job.
Right. When is he going to get respect? Let's find out.
I think that he earns the respect already during the season, but he just for some reason people don't see it early in the
He
year.
doesn't throw as hard as everyone else. So
Right.
when you look at it on paper for skill, skill per skill, they look at why
Location.
should I take him? I'll get him. But location.
And it works, and his defense is playing great behind him.
And game two,
DT playing great defensively. DT got a big hit to the right side in a big spot, and Bobby Safdie's tearing the cover off the
right,
ball.
all year he's been doing that.
Oh, my goodness.
And game two, LSU was back against the wall, scared to fall into the basement.
Well, this is
and,
really back against the wall in the most ultimate fashion.
And they're like, we just lost to Freddie Hittery again, demoralizing loss, and they came out smoking the ball game two.
Now I'm gonna give a big shout out. You look at the numbers; he didn't have a big day, but Michael Cohen came to play again. He was only 2 for 7 on the day, but
With a home run.
the home run was huge. They were only up 2-1, and they seemed like down. He had a big 3-run home run to go up 5-1.
And from what I recall, he
Pumped
made
up the team.
one of the better defensive plays this
Oh
season.
man, he had 3 or 4 putouts, assists, throwing,
Right.
and he threw 2 guys out at third in big spots. So Michael Cohen really showed his stuff.
So that was the recap of last week.
And they ended up going on to win that game like 13-6.
13-6 final score. So last night, the 24th, we actually were rained out. That was LSU again against the Cubs.
Yeah, and one more shout out I want to give to Victor Shrem, because they put Victor Shrem at shortstop,
And one more time, Victor Shrem held his own at short.
and he's getting on base.
And guess
So-
what? Once talking about getting on base, Bill, rookie, coming in, unknown. Everything he hits is finding a hole.
He's finding
He's
holes.
got the Mazal going right now.
People are saying it's miraculous. Hey,
He's also,
you're on base. You're
listen,
on base.
Oh, he speed kills. He's one of the faster people in the leagues. I think he's top 3 fastest, and he is batting at even 700 with over 20 at bats.
Unbelievable.
That's real. So now,
in the matchup that night, a lot of the usual good hitters. Natan had a 4-hit game. We mentioned Bobby, Albert Kamal had a bunch of RBIs. These guys came to play, and it was a split.
right?
But that kept the Giants at
keeps
500.
every team alive. And going into tonight,
Which brings us in tonight.
right? So tonight, well, last night, like you said, there was a rain out, but tonight there was a huge matchup between Dub Nation and going into the night, they would be called Scrub Nation.
Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks, they were a basement-dwelling team. They had a lot of turmoil in the locker room, as they say. They came out knowing they had a job to do. They wanted to shut up the critics and actually, take down this hot team, Dub Nation, who actually started the season really strong. And now that people are learning them, let's see if they come back down to earth.
So very interesting, because tonight the field was soft, and it was cold outside. It's freezing
Right.
actually. Great pitching
Yeah.
by Max and Aby.
So there were two pitching duels, both games. Game one,
And when there was like 7 strikeouts,
it was
both
the
ways.
amount of strikeouts going. Mike had was trigger happy, calling everyone out on strikes. And bottom line, it was 1-0 going into the seventh inning.
Top of the 7th
Top
inning.
of the
Now,
seventh.
noted that Jimmy Cohen elected to be the road team, hitting
Right.
the top of the 7th, and their team
They were going into the seventh down 1-0.
Shimmy, the leadoff hitter,
Well, there was a bomb hit to left field, and Billy Miz.
really did a great job.
He tracked that ball better than anyone. He got there, made the lunging effort. Ball
Ball
hit
went in his glove.
hit the ground,
Then
jarred
came out.
loose, run scored.
No, triple. Ended up being a triple.
And then the next guy,
Right, and then they ended up scoring 2 runs on whatever. That run came in, another run came in, ugly, but came in. and
bottom
they went
line,
on to
final
win.
score was 2-1. They stole a game.
That's
they
you know
grabbed
what?
the game from the jaws of defeat, as they say.
That's called a rob, a steal. whatever
Good
you wanna
teams
call
tend to win those types of games, and bad teams tend to lose those. It was a little bit of both.
it. Now, this is where the Blackhawk season was, you could say the word dwindling,
No, it was on life support.
big time.
So right now, at this point in time, going into Game 2 tonight, if the Blackhawks lose Game 2 and get swept, they're essentially seal themselves.
Well, they're solely the team in last place,
and
they very bad.
And they didn't play the harder part of their schedule yet.
Right.
So, and if they win, they actually, propel themselves into a three-way tie in last place / last playoff spot.
Right.
So going into this game, it was so much on the line, more than they even knew probably.
Want to give a lot of credit to Maurice Haber, Joe Greenberg, Billy Mizrahi, Morris Caston, these guys keeping their team together.
Right, and you know what? Another shout out goes to, he had a rough night at third base, Ayal, but still managed to salvage playing decent tonight.
Right. By the way, that was a big play. In the first game that they lost, it was very tough. There was an unbelievable throw,
Heck of a throw,
by Joe Greenberg, and a play that Ayal usually eats in his sleep. Maybe the lights got in his way.
Growing pains, I think,
Growing
is the way to look
maybe
at it.
the stage was a little big, but yes, credit to Jake. He stayed positive and stayed strong.
The Blackhawks got out to a 3-0 lead, highlighted by a Maurice Haber RBI,
second
2
and
RBI
third,
double.
Speed kills, we always say. Joe Greenberg walked, and then the three-hitter, John Eliezer, got a bloop hit, turned into a double somehow, some way.
And if you look at it, if you isolate it, aside from that inning, A.B. Saka didn't give up anything all night long.
All night long, and those runs, I mean, Maurice Haber got a very nice
That was
hit.
real. That was real.
Rope up the middle. 2 runs came home, then ended up scoring another run.
On a sac fly.
That was really it.
3-0, and then fast forward all the way to the 7th inning, a lot of strikeouts and a lot of great defensive plays later, highlighted by Shimmy Cohen, ridiculous catch in right center field.
Right center, running it down.
Game ended 3-0, and the Blackhawks are right back in the mix, and the Blackhawks are, again, tied in last place and also tied for the last playoff spot.
But again, the biggest shout out for the Blackhawks, I know the guys got big hits, Max Yadid.
Yeah, no, Max Yadid was dominating.
Boy,
tonight.
he usually makes fun that we kill him. He pitched.
He dominated tonight.
Amazing tonight. His right, he got the Yakuboviches off balance.
Right, so Nussi, he did have a few hits, but he wasn't hitting the ball well.
Wasn't the same
and
Nussi.
He struck out Nachman. He had a bunch of strikeouts to his credit.
A lot of pop outs. So big credit to Max Yadid. A.B. Saka pitched great as well. It was an earned split both ways.
And let's quickly
low-scoring games.
Let's quickly look ahead to tomorrow. We have Gonzaga against the Patriots.
Patriots are playing for something big. Gonzaga, in essence, maybe going to be in cruise control.
I don't know about cruise control. They still want a top 2 seed.
You'll come to the field at night to play. You're not just futzing around. You're coming to play.
And the Patriots are getting hot right now, as they always do. The Norwood teams always get hot late in the season.
Welcome back to Ray Dingleberry.
Right.
Esses will be making his debut on the season.
They're looking for a single from the Dingle. That's what they're looking for. So right now, going into tomorrow night, I believe it's going to be a ho-hum boring split.
I think the Patriots are winning too.
Momentum-wise, you're right, but I think Gonzaga
is
not going to allow themselves to lose to. They're too good of a team.
Okay, I hear that. Now, we know Stephen Gindy and Joseph Arati were nursing some nagging injuries. I'm hoping Eliv comes into play tomorrow night. And you call a split, I'm calling a sweep.
I call a ho-hum boring split.
Okay.
Well-played games.
We have another game Thursday night.
Weather permitting.
Weather's going to be all right. The Raiders are coming right back onto the field. A.B. Saka and Dub Nation are coming right back onto the field, and they are playing against the Giants.
Right, and that's a makeup game, I believe.
Yes, it is a makeup game.
That's going to be a big game for both. Dub Nation with a big night that night. Even a split, I think that puts them in the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll be in a good spot. And again, the Giants are 500 now. If they stay 500, I think they'll be all right as well.
We're at the point in the season where every single game and every single week means something.
It's huge.
And the talent is right there all around.
It's a short schedule. Every win does a lot.
Right, so you're calling a split.
I'm calling a split on that one.
Going into tonight, I got to think about the Giants with their newly acquired team, feeling some mojo. You know what? I can't argue with you. Again, it's going to be a boring split on my end. Listen, anything crazy could happen, but talent-wise, they're neck and neck. They're right there.
This is good. I think Freddie Hittery is going to get hit really hard in one game. That's what I'm picking.
That's very fair.
Against this Dub Nation team, I think they're going to see the way Freddie pitches. I think they might just rifle the ball up the middle. That's just me calling it for one game, and then he's going to settle in game
So
two.
you're calling a split as well, I guess?
Split.
Okay, there you go. So next time we'll speak to you, we'll be recapping the next few games and previewing what's ahead.
You know, these are the teams. This is really formulating. There's no more trades.
Right.
So it's really, the big question is that last playoff spot. That's where the real action is.
That's when, and there's a lot of jockeying for position right now. Good luck, everybody, and we'll speak to you soon.
Have fun jockeying. We'll see you. I don't know what.